much. I love that you mentioned about bringing the awareness from the front brain into the back brain, because the front brain is where most of that sort of busy cognitive thought is happening. And the back brain is actually where the respiratory center is, right? The brainstem. So even just leaning back, because our head is always so far forward and it's compromising our airway and such, that just gives me such a wonderful visual of not only focusing on the back brain, but also bringing the head back into position that is going to be more conducive to opening the airway, and also linking it to body awareness as far as yoga goes, because yoga is such an important aspect of yoga, is to focus on somatically what's happening in your body. Would you, besides focusing on the back of your head, would you recommend any other type of body focusing or body scanning type of techniques and link them to the breath, just to help the mind to focus on something? Otherwise, yeah, you could be mechanically doing your breath practice, but it's not doing anything because you're stuck in your head.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's really good to be able to bring your attention out of the mind and into the body. A lot of the work that we do with athletes, we have them do their training with every cell of their body, lift their weights, and as they're lifting their weights and they're feeling the tension, is to bring their attention to that muscle. If they're going for a walk with every cell of the body. If they're going for a jog with every cell of the body. Now we use it as a means to help access flow states, that state of alertness and relaxation at the same time. But I think it's going to have parallels in yoga, because in yoga, you're directing your attention inwards onto the movement, onto your breathing. And as long as you have your attention out of the mind and in your body or on your breath, your mind has quietened, that there's a stillness after coming to the mind. But if you go for a walk, Krishnamurti is a very well-known spiritual teacher. And he made a name of he made his goal of going for a walk, and I think it was for an hour or 90 minutes per day. But his whole objective was to go for the 90-minute walk, but not to think during the walk. In other words, to walk with every cell of the body. And seldom do we really bring our attention into the body, but I think it goes hand in hand with the breath. And I would also go as far as saying is that for me, bringing attention out of the mind is the easiest place for me anyway, was to start with the breath first, and then to bring the attention into the body. And even just starting off with a small part of the body, the hand, closing the eyes and bringing your attention in there and just feeling the inner bodily sensations, not thinking about it. Because at the start, of course, you're going to be thinking about it. That's kind of normal, but just keep on practicing it. And you might be feeling the temperature of the air against your skin. You might be feeling any inner bodily sensations, and then bring your attention as far as your elbow. And at least if you start off with one part of the body that's quite small, and then you can build up on that. So we start off with breath awareness, body awareness, and then mind awareness. I think mind awareness is the one in paying attention to what's actually going on in the head, knowing what we're thinking about, knowing what thoughts are consuming us. I would always start off with the breath first in the body, and then to start paying attention to the mind. But that's just me. So maybe people have different ways of doing it,
Speaking of the mind, I think rumination is one of the biggest issues. We ruminate on everything, and a lot of times we don't even know we're doing it. So
yes.
Is there a breathing technique that can hack rumination?
Yes, a good breath hold.
Mm.
And again, a breath hold is not going to be suitable to everybody. It's not going to be suitable for somebody with panic disorder and anxiety, but maybe they could be doing small breath holds. So you could start off with breathing in through your nose and out through your nose and pinching your nose and holding the breath while walking for 10 to 15 paces, and then letting go, because there's something strange that as we do a breath hold, the mind stops thinking. And I think it is because the brain is engaging with the feeling of air hunger. But I'd always say to people, start off very, very gentle, because that air hunger response, the feeling of suffocation, That's often a symptom that feeds into anxiety and panic disorder. Now, with, for example, the breathing exercises, we use it as a means of helping that individual to desensitize their reaction towards the suffocation. And during the breath hold, the mind does stop thinking. Cold water immersion is going to do it as well. You know, if you get into a bath of pretty cold water, well, your mind is going to stop thinking, because you've got two choices. Either you jump out of it as quick as you can, or you surrender to the cold. And the more you can surrender, and you're slowing down your breathing, even doing long meditations, Vipassana, your ache and pains all over the body, you feel that your legs are gone from under you, and you have to surrender to the pain. So I think there's a number of different ways to do it. And maybe that's why people go for a jog, you know. They go for a jog because of to help to bring some stillness to the mind. So breathing techniques, would hyperventilation do it? Probably. It has its own problems though, and we've seen problems with hyperventilation. And the only reason I say it because of the popularity of the Wim Hof method. You know, we've seen people hyperventilating, and it has put them into such a stress response, even though many people get benefits from it. And that's just the power of the breath. So I think a good place to start would be start off gentle. You know, if you wanted to go down the route of reduced breathing, start off gentle. See how your body responds to the air hunger. Doing breath holds, start off gentle. Don't do breath holds or hyperventilation, especially if you're pregnant or if you suffer from anxiety, because it could just exaggerate the response.